In complete darkness, we are actually all alike. It is only our wisdom and our knowledge that separates us. Don't let your eyes deceive you. I believe I am that single light that's needed if this room is dark to rid it from darkness. Hey! Woo! Over here, I can't hear you! Yeah, how you doing back there? Yeah? Woo! Yes! Wow, this is awesome. Wow, thank you so much. There's something about being the last speaker is, my emotions are already on overflow. And so I ask for grace as I work my way through my talk. We are way more than what we physically see we are. If I stand beside my husband, I see a wife. When I'm at the gym looking at myself in the mirror, I see a professional bodybuilder. When I'm standing beside my mom and my brother, I see a daughter and a sister. In Kenya, serving beside my best friend, I see a helper. When I look at Dreaming Big, Being Bold on my shelf, I see an author. And when I'm sitting in meetings, sometimes the only Black woman in technology in the meeting, I see executive. But when I look in the mirror now, and I look beyond that image that looks back at me, I see God's creation, wonderfully made and filled with capacity to love myself and everyone abundantly. Today I'm up here and I will share my truth with you. I often get invited into rooms such as these with not many people that look like me, and I dare greatly to share my raw truth and then leave you to figure out what to do with it. Allow me to introduce myself. My name, my parents, brilliant humans, name me Nkechi Nwafor, which in Igbo means God's gift. So I am a gift and not a victim. And today, my gift to you is a lesson on love. Because I believe that not just me, but everyone here, when we have an opportunity and we get a chance, or we're living in an experience, it is our opportunity to teach love and not fear. If you really knew me, if you really knew me, what would you know? If you really knew me, you would know that I experienced blatant racism in my childhood. My parents wanting to do the good thing, raise my brother, and decide to have my brother and I here in Canada. We're first-generation Canadians. And my dad and my mom have a very strong identity, moved us into a white, affluent neighborhood in Montreal in 1978 in the heart of racism. All white. We were the 4 speckles of Black. They were afraid of us. And you know what fear looks like? I endured a decade of bullying simply because people would not look beyond my skin color. I had an uninspiring guidance counselor who back in the 80s didn't really know what to do with the Black girl except what they saw on TV. So sports, dance, those were music, those were the things I was encouraged to pursue. I had to buy my friends because really and truly nobody really wanted to be friends with the Black girl. And I thought I was ugly simply because people told me that. And I wanted to be anything but Black because when you're asked enough times if you scrub your skin hard would the dirt come off. But then, here's the thing. You try over and over and over again, and much to your chagrin, your skin stays the same color. Well, I wasn't feeling empowered in my skin. I longed to be loved, I longed to be accepted. I actually thought I was a problem. You see, I thought I wasn't smart enough, good enough, pretty enough, loved enough. Well, enough is what I said to myself. Enough. And I say that to everyone here. We've heard it so much said today. We're actually bigger than our problems. I'm going to say that again. You are bigger than your problem. Whatever problem or problems you've been through, you are bigger than them. And you're bigger than any problem that lays in front of you. I'm looking at you, but it's a mirror back at me. I have taken more out of adversity than adversity has taken out of me. Our problems are actually there to build a resistance, to sculpt us, to sculpt our souls and our character. Let me tell you something. It's like working out at the gym. I have been training since I was 18. I am 46 years old. Yes, you can give me applause because I know I look good. And through all of those years of training, there is not one workout that has felt great. Not one. Racking up the squat plates and squatting down and having to come back and doing that 10 times, and sometimes your trainer's like, slow, slow. Doesn't feel good. But that's what problems are. They don't feel good, but here's what happens. The results are amazing. And so for me, it was learning about my comfort zone, which is in my problems. There is a comfort zone in your problems. You see, for most of us, our comfort zone is the places that are easy to love, okay? But real love doesn't find you, and the magic doesn't happen until every zone is comfortable. For me, my title of my talk was A Return to Love. There was a book by Marianne Williamson that I read for the first time in 2014. And I'm on my third pass of it now because I believe you have to continue to renew your spirit with certain material that just could give you something different in different stages of your life. And she talks about love and fear, how babies are born into love and we learn fear. Well, if we learn fear, then we can or hate, we can unlearn it also. And so that's what I did. I had to go and clean up my insides, and it's not an easy task, and I still do it to this day. If it feels uncomfortable, I know love needs to live there, okay? And the only way I know how to do that is by putting it in front of me, exposing it to the light, and actually dealing with it. So I have, over the last 5 years since I've been working on returning myself back to love and leading from a place of love, I've developed some strategies. There's 8, but today, in the interest of time, I'm going to share 4. I purposely didn't put them on the slide because if you have a phone or if you have a notepad, I want you to write them down. Because I promise you, I'm here to teach you love. And I believe if you carry these 4 strategies every single day and apply them at any given point in the day when you need them, you'll work your way through that experience with your character intact. So the first thing I had to do was I had to be convinced. Number 1, be convinced. Be convinced about what? Who I am. We've heard it here said today. You need to know who you are. Because if you don't know who you are, the world is going to tell you who you are. I was ugly. I was whatever. Any of those people today cannot tell me I'm ugly. You can start a beautiful and move up from there. To all those people that ask me to scrub my skin, I've still scrubbed today. It's called exfoliation. And I have nice, supple skin. So people will try to tell you who you are, but you have to know who you are. So for me on today, if anyone is wanting to really get to know themselves better, you need to first just clear the contents, clear what's ever contaminated you, so that you can replenish it with stuff that is loving. We talked about affirmations earlier. I'll be honest with you, I got into the affirmation game. The first affirmation I had was from Maya Angelou, I am phenomenal. I did not believe it. I do today. Why? Because every single day since the first time I said I am phenomenal, I have not stopped. Every single morning, I know who I am. I look in the mirror. I am born to win. I am designed for accomplishment. I am engineered for success. I'm endowed with the seeds of greatness. I am industrious. I am enterprising. I am intoxicated in gratitude. My life is magnetic. My joy is contagious. My passion is irresistible. And when you get me, you are getting an exceptional human. Yeah, girl. That's who I am. The second thing that's going to happen, don't get it twisted. You'll wake up every single morning and do not think that somebody's going to try and come and just make your life a little bit difficult. Some of us wake up, we just go about our day, we haven't done our affirmations, we haven't affirmed ourselves into place, we just walk out to whatever and boom, somebody cuts us off, bitch, right? Like we're just not prepared for nothing. But I'm saying that on today, when you walk out here and you're like, yes, I want to be renewed, I want more love in my life, the world is going to be like, okay, let me give you some stress. So I share this African proverb with you. It's the lion and the gazelle. Has anyone heard about it? Every day in Africa, a lion gets up and a gazelle gets up. And the gazelle knows that it has to run faster than the fastest lion if it is to survive the day. And the lion knows that it needs to outrun the slowest gazelle if it's actually going to survive another day. But here's the moral of the story. It doesn't matter if you're a lion, it doesn't matter if you're a gazelle. When the sun gets up, you best be running. Every single morning, my feet come on the ground, and I hear the devil say, damn, she's up. That's right. Because I know how to handle my critics. And sometimes it's something just as simple as saying, thank you for sharing. Because when you soar like an eagle, and somebody's yapping and it sounds like they're a chicken, why am I going to bother? To bother with them would just prove that there's two fools. So we need to actually learn the language that's going to protect our character. It's not F you, no, it's thank you for sharing. It's, can you repeat what you just said, but very slowly? Why? Because bring them into the consciousness of how they're treating you. Since you're sharing, when we talk about what's driving your critical behavior, I'm not gonna let that in because I know who I am. And ask, are you actually trying to make me feel bad about myself? Because I just wanna know, because I'm not, but I just wanna know. Right? Because we just sometimes just take what life throws at us, and we don't need to. So number 2 is be relentless. Number 3 is be patient. I'm not going to go through too much of that because we've heard it said by so many speakers here today. It took me 46 years to be 46 years old. That's a really long time. It's not that I'm really longly old, but it's just that it's a long time to be who I am on today. And so nothing needs to be, you need to trust the process. Sometimes we want things so quick. I remember one time in my career, I wanted something so quick that it almost destroyed me. But then I realized that I didn't get it. But you know what? It was God's interruption because I wasn't ready. And when He made the decision that it was time for me, wow, I was so ready to the point that what's happening in my life right now is unimaginable. So sometimes we just have to be patient. Trust the process. Don't rush it. And the last one is be positioned. This is really, really key. The snapshot of your future is taken by the people that are in your present. And it's really, really hard. If you know somebody that isn't going anywhere, they've already arrived. Ask yourself, do you need them in your corner? It's a tough conversation. And sometimes it's not even beef. The more you really start to find love in your life, then a lot of that stuff that can't hang with you anymore, you're suddenly going to look left and right, and it's suddenly gone. But protect your environment. It's really, really important. Because at some point or other, you have to stop the foolishness that keeps coming back into your environment that makes you quit on yourself. So our environments need to be healthy. And before I close, I just want to now turn the game a little. You matter. You matter. Who you are matters. So when you walk out of here, I want you to walk like you matter, and talk like you matter, and think like you matter, because you matter. Who you are is important. You are important. You are significant. We need to stop letting fear hold us back from leading with love. The magic happens in our most uncomfortable spaces. Even on today, I'm renewed. I dare you to walk out that door and not be changed after today. Shame on you, because why were you here? What's going to be different tomorrow? And I'm not just saying that to you, I'm saying that to myself. There are things that I recognize that came out of me today that are still fearful places, but that's where I want to attack. So I'm going to ask you, reach in and pull out pain, shame, fear, frustration, unforgiveness. Unforgiveness is drinking poison and wishing the other person would die. Forgiveness is for you. Resentment, jealousy, rage, lack. There's nothing you lack. There's absolutely nothing you lack. You have everything in abundance. And here's the thing, your problems have been your guideposts. And there's nothing that you have not gone through, otherwise you wouldn't be here today. So give yourself a round of applause for getting through what you've had to go through. Last year, I watched the royal wedding. Who watched the royal wedding? Bishop Michael Curry took the entire world to church. If you have not listened to his sermon on love, watch it. 13 minutes and 42 seconds. I watch it all the time. And I even sent him a message on Instagram. I called the church where he works. I emailed him. He must think I'm a stalker. He hasn't responded yet, but he will. And my message to him was just, I am your love minion. Every platform I get, I will speak a message of love. And that's why when Mo invited me to speak, man, I was like, and she told me the theme was love and leadership. I was like, okay, God. And so today I want you to imagine your life where love is the way. Do I have a minute? Imagine your life where love is the way. Imagine your relationships when you make love the way. Imagine your home, your relationships with your mom. I used to think my mom didn't love me. And last year I dared greatly enough to invite her to one of my conferences, because never in my lifetime had I ever looked out into an audience and seen my mom. And I texted her. It was July 7th at 7:15, and she texted me back, and the question was just really simple. Mom, will you come in October? And she said, well, if I can, I will. And until weeks before, she finally confirmed. And when I was practicing my speech and visualizing what that moment was going to look like, do you know I'm standing there and I'm visualizing, and I'm like, and my mom is here today. Nobody's in front of me, eh? Just an empty room. My mom's here today. On that day, I didn't see her. When I'm standing there and I'm saying, my mom's here today, she was right there in that same spot. So anything that you need in life is there for you if you just imagine it and dare greatly to go and get it. And on that day, with the microphone near her voice, she said, I love you. But she's always loved me. It's just I couldn't see it because I didn't love myself. And that's why love is important. That's why we hear so many of the speakers today give you the same message. I love you guys. Thank you for pouring into me today. But all of them told us to what? Love ourselves. Because I can't love you at the core of who you are if I don't love myself. Mark Nepo says, look into the eyes of another human being long enough until you see yourself. I love you, love. We need to look at each other because it is true. In complete darkness, we're actually all alike. Don't let my skin color fool you. You and me. We're both human. I just happen to be black. I happen to be female. There's a guy say the same thing. You and me, we're both human. You just happen to be male. I happen to be female. Let's stop the foolishness with our differences. And let's just love each other more. And that's what I said to Bishop Michael Curry. I said, I'm your love minion. You put me on any stage, and I am going to share a message about love. And so I have 4 final words for you. And I mean this. I love you unconditionally. Thank you.